This recording features Book 9 of the Iliad. You need to be able to summarize the main events of the selection, explain how the selection events in the selection illustrate the theme, and listen for keywords to record useful notes. Your keywords on this one are the mission, Odysseus' pitch, which illustrates the cost of pride and anger, Phoenix's pitch, which talks about heroic society, and Ajax's pitch. You should also know Nestor's suggestion. The mission is that Agamemnon sends Odysseus, Phoenix, and Ajax to apologize to Achilles on his behalf. He chooses these messengers because they are three of Achilles' favorite people. His apology includes an offer to return Briseis and provide Achilles with additional prizes, and this fulfills Achilles' prediction that Agamemnon will beg him to come back. When they arrive, Odysseus chooses to caution Achilles on the cost of pride to his honor. He lists all the gifts that Agamemnon is offering, including Briseis, and calls this evidence of Agamemnon's sincere apology. He also tells them that he has a chance to gain additional honor by killing Hector if he returns to the battlefield. He can't get that chance from his camp. So he's got the monetary honor of the war prizes, that symbolic honor we talked about earlier, with our heroes being wrapped up in it, and the additional honor of taking Hector's life. Achilles refuses Odysseus' claim. He says that honor that can be taken away so easily doesn't count as honor, and that worthless honor isn't worth risking his life and limb for. He questions the worth of honor to the dead. And that remains unspecified, whether he's talking about the honor of a hero in general, how they are remembered as heroes, if that's worthless to the dead, or if it's the monetary that you can't take with you. In both cases, he's still questioning the honor to the dead and challenging the bounds of heroic society, as well as supporting his own pride. Phoenix jumps in. Phoenix, being old enough to be Achilles' father, calls Achilles the son he never had. He tells the story of his parents' betrayal, how his mother got him to take away one of his father's concubines because this person was taking her place in his father's life, and because he did what his mother asked, his father cursed him, and this curse was that he will never have children of his own, which means he can never gain honor from being a parent. So calling Achilles the son that he never had is a big deal. It means he's counting on Achilles to bring him parental honor. He cautions Achilles that refusing Agamemnon forgiveness now, when Agamemnon is trying to right his wrong, is not a supportable grudge. It was understandable when Agamemnon had wronged him, had taken Briseis, but there's nothing understandable about holding on to this when he is clearly apologizing for what he's done. Achilles still refuses. He tells Phoenix that he can either be his friend or he can be Agamemnon's, and he welcomes him into his camp. And then he claims that he doesn't mean the type of honor that's gained in war. As a quick backtrack, part of Phoenix's pitch is to tell a cautionary tale of a hero known as Meleager, who had a grudge against his mother and stayed out of battle too long, and by the time he got there, there was no honor to be gained. Which is Phoenix cautioning Achilles again about him holding on to this grudge, because just because he goes back to war eventually does not mean that he will have any honor left to gain. And indeed, in this section, we can kind of see where Achilles is starting to slip from that elevated heroic part into just being a prideful, whiny baby. Ajax takes a completely different route with his pitch. He calls Achilles out and calls him disrespectful and hard-hearted. He says he's a poor and careless friend because he's letting them come out there and be injured and killed in battle and not helping them. He says that honor comes in doing what's right, and that's fighting beside his friends, not fighting for glory and prize. Achilles agrees, and this is where we really see him slip from his elevated perch, in that he says he can't go back to battle because he's still just too angry to forgive Agamemnon. Even though Agamemnon's trying to make things right, Achilles is not willing to try a reconciliation. The end story is that Odysseus and Ajax return to Agamemnon. Phoenix stays behind with Achilles. They tell Agamemnon that Achilles will not return to battle, and Diomedes gets mad at Achilles and tells Agamemnon that he was wrong to even try and rewards such arrogance with bribery. He says that Achilles is no better than any other man, which is a claim we heard Achilles launch against Agamemnon in the very first book. Diomedes and Odysseus then go out and lay a raid on the Trojan camps. Agamemnon goes with them. They all fight with honor, and Agamemnon gets injured. Nestor talks with Patroclus, and he suggests that he borrow Achilles' armor and lead the Myrmidons into battle to help the Greeks out.